How to sing in Polish even if you don't know the words. The most important thing about singing in Polish is knowing your vowels. In Polish, we have the normal vowels A, E, I, O, U, but they say stuff a little bit differently. A always says A, E says E, I says E, O says O, and U says U. A, E, I, O, U. Y is always a vowel in Polish, never a consonant, and it always says I, like in the English word hit. Polish also has some special vowel sounds, like an A with a tail. It's a nasal sound, kind of like the French language, and it says on, on. Kind of like the English word on, but you don't want to lift your tongue and make that full N sound. Instead, leave it open and nasal and let it say on. The E with the tail is also nasal, and it sounds a little flatter like this. An. You'll also have O's in Polish with a little slash, and that's going to say U, just like the U says U. So let's try reading some Polish words. They look like English words that you know, but they're going to sound different because of those vowels. This is an address. In Polish, it's adres. This word is telefon. Telefon. Park. Komputer. Komputer. Hotel. Hotel. Talent. Talent. Business. Business. So those are the vowels. Now let's talk about the consonants. Most of the consonants you see in Polish words are going to sound the same as they do in English. There are a few exceptions, and we need to talk about those. C always says ts in Polish, like centrum or cebula. Say centrum. Cebula. CH in Polish always says h. Your English eyes want to say ch, but instead they need to say h, like ucho or chleb. The J in Polish always says j, as in jeden or projekt. W in Polish always says w, as in woda or rower. And you've probably noticed as I say these words that whenever I come across an R, I try to roll it, and you should too when you sing your songs in Polish. Polish also has some extra special consonants that we don't have in the English language, like an L with a slash through it. For Polish eyes, that says w, as in mały or łatwy. You can also have a C with a slash, CI or CZ. Those all say ch, like mówić, ciepło, and czas. Similarly, you can have an S with a slash, an SI, or an SZ, and those all say sh, as in coś, siedem, and szansa. If you've got a Z with a dot, Z with a slash, ZI, or RZ, they're all going to sound like this. Zh. It's not a sound we have a lot of in English. Zh, as in żart, źle, zima, rzeka. You can put a D before your Z with a dot, Z with a slash, or ZI, and those say j, like our English J or soft G. Here's some examples. Gem, dzień, godzina. And I just want you to know the DZ can sometimes be on its own without an I. Don't accidentally say j. We need to pronounce each sound z whenever it doesn't have an I, as in bardzo or dzwon. In Polish, there are some surprising combinations you should be aware of. Lots of words have a PRZ in them. It makes this sound, psh. The normal P plus the RZ that says zh, and it almost just makes this airy psh noise that we would say in English, like if somebody's really put out or exhausted. Psh. When they show up in a word, it's one sound, przerwa, as you see in that first example, przerwa, or the next example, przedmiot, przedmiot. You can also have SZ, CZ squished together to make this noise, sh. It's the same noise if you see S with a slash, C with a slash put together, sh. And they show up in these Polish words that I have here, szczur, which is the Polish word for rat, szczur, or in the next word is really common, cześć, which we say to people that we know, hello and goodbye. It means hello and goodbye, and we use it for people that we know. Cześć, cześć. You can also have K and T at the beginning of a word. Kto, kto. Or DL at the beginning of a word. Dla, dla, which is usually followed by another word. Dla nas in this situation. So we've got the vowels and the consonants. You've got almost all the information you need to know to sing in Polish. There's a few other important things. You might see a single consonant sitting by itself. That doesn't happen at all in English, but it does happen in Polish. When you see that, you slide the first consonant, that's its own word actually in Polish, into the second word. So it isn't znami, you slide it together. Znami. Say znami. Or here's another example. W by itself slides into domu like this. W domu. W domu. Also be aware that the E with the tail, which I said says ow, whenever it's at the end of a word, you pronounce it like a normal E, as if it doesn't even have a tail at all. Like this. Kawę. Or she. Or this word means thank you, so let's say it a few times. Dziękuję. Dziękuję. You'll probably use it a lot when you're in Poland. Let's try it again. Dziękuję. Dziękuję. When you're learning a song in Polish, it's important to say the phrases slowly before you try to sing them quickly. It lets you make sure that you're saying all the noises correctly before you try to do it fast. So here are the words to a refrain. And the first line goes like this. To już czas. Say to już czas. Not too hard. The next phrase is a little tricky because it has that lonely W at the beginning, which we're going to slide into the second word. So let's learn the second word first. Sercach. Sercach. Now slide the W in front. W sercach. W sercach. And the last word, żar. Żar. W sercach żar. The next phrase. Wstań. Wstań. E. It's his own word, not I, but E. And then walcz. Walcz. Wstań I walcz. Wstań I walcz. The next phrase is a little longer. The first word is easy. Sam. Not Sam, but sam. And now look at the last word. Smak. Not smack, but smak. The second to last word, poczuj. Say poczuj. So far, so good. This word here in the middle is a little bit harder. When you've got a long, hard word with lots of consonants, it's best to break it apart, and I like to start with the end. So let's start with stwa. Stwa. And now we'll add the middle to what we already know. This is cię, cię, częstwa, częstwa. The first syllable is zwy, zwy. Now let's add it to częstwa. Zwycięstwa, zwycięstwa. And now all together, sam zwycięstwa poczuj smak. Again, sam zwycięstwa poczuj smak. One more time, sam zwycięstwa poczuj smak. Good, and the last phrase of this chorus is to już czas, just like the first phrase. In the next lesson, we'll learn how to sing that melody and also learn another part of the song. But for now, that's all you need to know for how to sing in Polish, even if you don't know the words.